I'm Jason Mundock, and this is So Good Music, conversations with artists making new music in and around Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Today on the program, it's Andrew and Tony from the band Super Vehicle. Let's jump right in. But let's start with this question of, if you overheard somebody who was talking about your band to someone else, what would you want them to say?
It's tough. I think it's always tough to describe your own music, or like classify your own music.
Sure.
And I hate to throw a bunch of like genre terms out there, that might be a little obscure.
You can start there.
I mean, I think when you were saying there's a lot of 90s influence, and that captured you. And I think there's a lot of people at the reception, people have seen a lot of that or like have given that back coming out and being like, hey, I really like this. It just a lot of specifically like 90s alternative shoegaze. But with like a newer twist or like a modern lens almost in some way.
Yeah, it's fresh for sure, but you can hear the quotes and it's nice. You know what I mean? Why do you do it? Why do you play music?
I'm a huge fan of film and TV. Andrew is too. I feel like with music though, music more reliably moves me than film or TV, when I listen to a song and it makes me sad or happy or nostalgic, it moves me to create. I think it's, in a lot of ways, it's a form of storytelling, You're trying to transmit an idea or a feeling to the listener. And, I'm always trying to do that when I write music. Even, like we saw 28 Years Later over the weekend. And it was a very good movie, but like about halfway through, they play a song from the original movie, East Hastings by Godspeed You Black Emperor.
Good band.
And like it was at that moment, like you just hear the beginning chimes of that guitar, like boom, 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 and like I got goosebumps. That moved me more than it was a great movie, and I was enjoying myself. But it wasn't until I heard those chimey guitars that I was like, oh my god, that takes me back to when I saw the very first movie. I just feel like music, more than any other medium of art, can move you or stir something within you.
At least for us.
Yeah.
I know there are people out there that will walk into an art museum and can sit there and stare at a painting for hours.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate art. That doesn't do it for me like a song does.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think to jump on that, I think movies are definitely a big source of music for me too, like the soundtracks and stuff like that. I'm actually going to see Godspeed You Black Emperor for this on tomorrow, which I've seen I've seen that a lot of times. I love that band. But it's great. I think with our music, what got me into the shoegaze genre was Lost in Translation. And with Kevin Shields writing the soundtrack and using My Bloody Valentine and it was just like movies are a gateway into a lot of music for me, and
Sure.
the association. I think playing music is like also over the years, I feel like it's just a necessity for happiness too. It's almost therapeutic in a lot of ways. I've realized like the happiest I am is like when I play, I'm constantly working on music or playing music. And yeah, it's just a therapeutic tool. I think I always have written more instrumental. I started with instrumental, and the lyrical thing has been like a newer development. But it's like capturing a feeling with the instruments, but then with lyrics is more like a therapeutic kind of thing, a way to deal with certain things.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to me about your latest release, or the only release for this band, Super Vehicle.
Only release. It's a 5-song EP that we put out in April 23rd. This year. Again, it's a lot of the stuff that deals with introspective lyrics about our own lives and stuff we're going through. Yeah.
I think it's a very introspective record, or at least that's how it came across to me.
Yeah.
And Andrew wrote most of the music, so he can obviously provide a better perspective or a more accurate perspective. But I've always perceived it as a very introspective, almost coming of age type of record. There's a lot of songs on there about, it's in the title track, right? Who you wish you were.
Mm-hmm.
This idealization of maybe what you perceive to be a better version of yourself, if that version even exists, does it exist?
I think Tony put that a lot very well. It's definitely introspective. There's a lot of songs that are dealing with a time that I was struggling to figure out who I was, and like things like alcoholism and feeling lost and finding a meaning in your life.
Yeah.
Just writing to the feeling that I was dealing with at that time. I'm a much better place now, but I think calling from a big part in your life where there's a lot of things you're dealing with emotionally and introspectively is very lasting, and I think capturing that feeling in music is very powerful.
Besides yourselves, who's your favorite Lancaster artist?
So I think she opened up for Pat Hatt, our friend Pat Hatt, a couple of years ago at West Art. But do you remember Bad Hints?
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. She's really great. And I'm sorry, her real name escapes me at the moment. Jess.
Yeah.
Jess. But yeah, I just happened to stumble upon her Instagram page just randomly the other day. And she has this song called Pure Gold. And it's just incredible. It's very dreamy and wistful, very beach housey. She's extremely talented. And like Pat, at the time anyway, when they were performing, it was just them on stage. They're like a solo performer. And I have so much respect for those kinds of performers, because it's like, if everything's going well, awesome, great job. But if anything goes wrong, you can't really look around.
No one else to blame. Yeah.
But she was phenomenal. Yeah, she's great.
That's great. Andrew?
Yeah, I would say I'm going to shout out Field Trip. They're our practice space mates and good friends. Shout out Boy Genius, Zach Wagner. He's great. They're releasing singles here. They just put out a new single, Shaping Up, which is amazing. Very psych rocky, really, really great, well-made music. So they're one of my favorites for sure.
That's great. Where do you like to play?
So we've only played one spot so far.
As a band?
Yes. As a band. Tony has played out more. This last show is my first show ever playing live.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
So Zootropolis is your favorite place to
That's
play?
my favorite place, yeah. Shout out Ben Roth for doing the booking there. He's doing a great job. He set us up with our first EP release show that we played with Babel Map. Fancy numbers. They were great. Awesome.
I was there. It was a great show.
Thank you.
How could you have been writing music for years and that be your first show?
This little thing called imposter syndrome and self-doubt and social anxiety.
Oh, I hope you're over it.
Yeah, I've grown a lot, but throughout the years, I think that along with just trying out music projects and just never getting past the point of the practice spot, and just like living, people's lives and people coming and going and interests and stuff like that. I think the special thing about this project right now is we're all very in it and present.
Great.
And it's working. We have some momentum, which is hard to capture and hard to keep.
Absolutely. That's great. How about you, Tony?
I was racking my brain because I have played at a couple of other spots downtown many, many years ago. But honestly, none of them were as stellar as Zootropolis. And it's insane that that's your first show ever because it never works out that way.
No.
You're playing in someone's basement normally.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And like there's a bunch of like kids right up in your face, spilling their Bud Light all over you. You kind of normally have to run the gamut first before you play a show like Zootropolis. So
yeah, I fully realize that's like going to be the peak for me for a while. It's like peaked early.
Well, thanks, guys, for taking a few minutes to chat with me about Super Vehicle. It's an awesome record. We'll link up to everything and all the descriptions wherever you see this. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Jason.